Hello boys and girls, today we're going to work on adding some more important notes to our math journal. So I have found the page where I last stopped recording in my journal, and what I'm going to do, because I have some space down here, I'm going to continue taking my notes down here. So what we have so far, we have an array, and we drew a model of our array, and we made the repeated addition 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 15. But I want to also add in some new notes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write today's date right here. For me, this is 9/21/20. So that way I know when I wrote these notes. Now, the first thing I want to do is remind you that as we're taking these notes, please press pause at any time so that you can keep up and make sure that you are getting all of the notes that match in my notebook. All right, so our first note I want to add is equal groups. So that's EQUAL, groups, GROUPS. And I'm going to make my equal groups match this picture right here. So I see in this we have 1, 2, 3 rows. So I'm going to draw 3 groups. 1, 2, and 3. And each row has 5 dots in it, so each group is going to get 5 dots as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I've made my equal group sentence now. I'm going to add one more note, and this is for our multiplication equation or multiplication sentence. So I'm going to label over here multiplication, multiplication. I'm going to call this my multiplication sentence. So I want it to match the pictures that I've already drawn. So I know that I have right here, I'm going to label, I had 3 groups of 5. So I want my multiplication sentence to match that. I remember groups of is the same thing as times. So I'm going to write 3 times 5 equals 15. All right, now I want to also label the numbers in my multiplication sentence because these are also very important vocabulary words. So I know that the numbers that I am multiplying, these numbers are called my factors. So the 3 and the 5, I'm going to draw little arrows here, and I'm going to write that is a factor, and 5 is also a factor because the numbers that you multiply are called the factors. And when you get an answer to a multiplication problem, that is called the product. So I'm going to draw a little arrow and put mine up top here. I'm going to label that number the product. All right, so we have added today that we have equal groups, and 3 groups of 5 is the same thing as the multiplication sentence. 3 times 5 equals 15. And we're multiplying the two numbers, which are called the factors. So a factor times a factor equals the product. The product is just the answer. Now I want to add one more note, but I'm out of room here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the page. All right, and I just turned to the back of this page. Don't want to waste any paper, so right to the back. And I'm going to add one more important vocabulary that we've talked about. And this is called the commutative properties. So that's COMMUTATIVE. And then the next word is property, PROPERTY, the commutative property. And the commutative property, I'm going to make an example right here. So if I have 3 times 5 equals 15, commutative property means I can switch these numbers to make a new problem, but it will have the same product. So I'm going to switch my factors, and I'm going to write 5 times 3 equals 15 as well. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to say 3 times 5 is equal to 5 times 3. And equal just means these equations are the same. So 3 times 5 is 15, and 5 times 3 is also 15. So these equations are equal. All right, that is all of our notes for this week. Remember to make sure that you got all of the notes, and remember, if you need to go back and rewatch or pause, you can do that at your own speed.